What if I told you that somewhere right now, hidden in plain sight, a tiny silver coin exists that can instantly place you among the holders of real historic wealth? Not paper wealth, not digital numbers, but cold, undeniable treasure that has survived wars, economic collapses, and generations of time. Today's video is not for casual viewers. This is for those who understand that true money leaves clues, and the rarest clues are often the smallest. In today's auction market, collectors are quietly battling behind closed doors. Prices are exploding, and coins once ignored are now being hunted like buried gold. In this video, we are revealing 5 of the most valuable Mercury dimes ever discovered. Coins so rare that most people will never see one in their lifetime. These are not myths. These are not rumors. These are real coins commanding shocking prices right now. Stay with me, because coin number 1 alone has turned ordinary people into overnight legends in the collector world. And once you hear its story, you will never look at loose change the same way again. Welcome to True Coin Value, where hidden wealth is uncovered every single day. Coin number 1. This coin does not announce itself loudly. It doesn't shine like modern bullion. It doesn't scream for attention. And that is exactly why it escaped notice for decades. The 1930 Mercury dime, struck at the San Francisco Mint, carries a quiet authority that only true numismatic power holds. When this coin appears at auction, serious collectors stop talking. Screens go silent, and bidding becomes intense, controlled, and relentless. To understand why this coin commands such reverence today, you must go back to America in 1930. The nation was standing on the edge of economic chaos. The Great Depression had tightened its grip, mints were under pressure, production numbers were shrinking, and survival, not perfection, was the priority. The San Francisco Mint, known for lower mintages and stricter output during unstable times, produced far fewer Mercury dimes than Eastern mints. Every coin struck carried the weight of an uncertain future. This Mercury dime was composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, a composition that represented trust in real value, value you could feel, hold, and pass down. Designed by Adolph A. Weinman, the obverse features Liberty wearing a winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought. Over time, collectors began calling it the Mercury dime because of its resemblance to the Roman god. But this was no mythological symbol. This was America declaring its ideals in metal. What makes the 1930s Mercury dime exceptional is not just its age, but its survival. Most coins from this year were heavily circulated, melted, lost, or damaged. Finding one today in very fine condition is not luck, it is rarity colliding with preservation. The details of Liberty's hair, the firmness of the facial features, and the clarity of the winged cap all remain visible, whispering stories from nearly a century ago. Look closer at the reverse, and you will see the fasces wrapped in an olive branch. Strength bound by unity. Peace backed by authority. The strike quality from San Francisco gives this coin a character that Philadelphia issues simply do not have. The mint mark itself, small, subtle, and powerful, transforms this dime into something entirely different from its counterparts. Collectors crave this coin because it sits at the perfect intersection of scarcity, condition, and historical importance. Demand is relentless. Supply is nearly non-existent. Every year, fewer examples surface, and when they do, they vanish into private collections, often never to be seen again. This is not a coin that waits. This is a coin that disappears. And now, let me stop the suspense, because this is where reality becomes shocking. The absolutely current auction market value of the 1930s Mercury dime in very fine condition is $174,590. Yes, this is real. This is not speculation. This is not fiction. This is the verified, current market price being paid right now by elite collectors. A single dime, a historic treasure, the kind of value that redefines what small truly means. This is not just money. This is concentrated wealth. This is a portable legacy. This is the kind of asset that grows while the world changes around it. And let me be very clear, the value of this coin is increasing day by day. As more collectors enter the market and fewer coins remain available, this price is not standing still. Time is pushing it upward. Do not take this lightly. I am telling you the truth. If you are a collector, this coin demands respect. Authentication is everything. Condition matters deeply. Original surfaces, natural toning, and untouched details separate true treasure from ordinary silver. Never rush. Never compromise. Coins like this reward patience and punish hesitation. In conclusion, the 1930 Mercury dime is not just one of the most valuable Mercury dimes in the world. It is a symbol of hidden wealth still moving through today's auction market. If this coin is in your possession, you are not holding spare change. You are holding a piece of American financial history that commands power, respect, and extraordinary value. And remember, true coin value brings you freshly updated, hidden wealth discoveries every single day. Stay with us, because the next coin on this list goes even deeper into legend. Next up, this is the coin that fools the careless eye and shocks the educated mind. The 1920 Mercury dime with the D-Mint mark does not arrive polished or flashy. It arrives quietly, almost humbly, and that is exactly why it has slipped past countless hands while carrying a level of hidden wealth that most people would never imagine possible. This coin doesn't beg for attention. It commands it once you understand what you are looking at. The year 1920 was a turning point in American history. The nation was emerging from World War I. Industries were shifting. Silver demand was unstable, and the United States. Mint was under intense pressure to produce coinage quickly. At the Denver Mint, production conditions were far from ideal. Quality control suffered, strikes were inconsistent, and many coins left the mint imperfect. Most were circulated heavily, used daily, and worn down without mercy. Survival alone became the exception. The Mercury dime of this era was struck in a 90% silver and 10% copper alloy, a composition that anchored American currency in tangible value. This wasn't symbolic money. This was real metal, real weight, real worth. Designed by Adolph A. Weinman, Liberty's winged cap once again symbolized freedom of thought, a powerful message during a time of national rebuilding. But on the 1920D, the design often appeared softer, less defined, and that is exactly why condition matters so deeply today. Now let's talk about the reverse side gray spots, because this is where collectors either misunderstand or recognize greatness. These gray spots are not damage. They are not corrosion. They are the unmistakable fingerprint of natural silver aging and original surface preservation. They confirm authenticity. They confirm that this coin has not been stripped, dipped, or artificially altered. In the collector world, these natural gray patterns are proof of honesty, and honesty commands a premium. In fine condition, this coin holds visible design details, readable inscriptions, and a strong overall presence despite circulation. The facets on the reverse remains identifiable, the olive branch is intact, and the Denver Mint mark sits proudly beneath, transforming this dime into something far rarer than its Philadelphia counterpart. Denver minted Mercury dimes from 1920 were produced in significantly lower numbers, and far fewer have survived in collectible condition. Collectors pursue this coin with intensity because it represents scarcity layered on scarcity. Low mintage, high attrition, mint-specific demand, and a surface history that cannot be replicated. Every year, the number of available examples shrinks. Coins disappear into vaults, estates, and legacy collections. When one resurfaces at auction, it doesn't linger. It ignites competition. And now, this is the moment where the reality hits. The absolutely current market value of the 1920D Mercury dime in fine condition with original reverse gray spotting is $198,500. Yes, this is the real number being paid today in the live auction market. This is not a projection. This is not a rumor. This is present day, verified collector money moving decisively. A single dime, a historic survivor, a concentrated treasure capable of changing financial destiny in an instant. This kind of value is not static. It is accelerating. Demand for elite Mercury dimes is increasing day by day, while supply continues to evaporate. Time is not neutral here. It is working in favor of those who already hold these coins. Do not dismiss this as exaggeration. This is the reality unfolding right now in the numismatic world, and it is happening quietly while most people are not paying attention. For collectors, this coin demands discipline and knowledge. Original surfaces matter. Natural toning matters. The presence of untouched details is everything. Never underestimate a coin because it does not sparkle. True wealth does not need to shine. It needs to survive. In conclusion, the 1920D Mercury dime with reverse gray spotting is not just rare, it is elite. It stands as proof that hidden wealth often wears a modest disguise. If this coin is in your possession, you are not holding silver. You are holding a historic asset that commands respect at the highest level of the collector market. And remember, true coin value delivers freshly updated discoveries of hidden coin wealth every single day. Stay with us, because coin number 3 goes even deeper into the shadows of rarity, and what it reveals may shock you even more. Next up, this is the coin that rewrites expectations. The 1934 Mercury dime with the D mint mark carries a presence that feels almost unreal when you understand what survived for it to exist today. On the surface, it appears modest, but beneath that calm exterior lies a coin born in one of the most fragile moments in American history, and that alone elevates it into a different class of hidden wealth. The year 1934 was not a year of comfort. America was deep inside the Great Depression. Trust in money had been shaken, banks had failed, and silver coins were not being saved. They were being spent, traded, worn down, and forgotten. At the Denver Mint, production volumes were cautious, and the focus was on utility, not perfection. Coins left the mint quickly, entered circulation immediately, and endured heavy use. Survival was rare. Preservation was rarer. The Mercury dime of 1934 was struck in the traditional 90% silver and 10% copper composition, a formula that represented stability during instability. Designed by Adolph A. Weinman, Liberty's winged cap once again symbolized freedom of thought, a message that resonated powerfully during an era when hope itself was under pressure. Yet Denver-minted examples from this year often show weaker strikes, making strong survivors extraordinarily desirable today. Now let's talk about the gray spots, because this is where real collectors lean forward. These gray areas are not flaws. They are not damage. They are the unmistakable signature of natural silver aging. They tell experts that this coin has lived an honest life, untampered, undisturbed, and untouched by modern interference. In the high-end coin world, originality is everything. And originality, like this, cannot be recreated, purchased, or forced. In very good condition, this coin still carries the soul of its design. Liberty's outline remains clear. The facets on the reverse stand strong enough to be immediately recognizable. The olive branch, though softened by time, still speaks of peace and endurance. And beneath it all sits the Denver mint mark, small, understated, and absolutely transformative. That single letter elevates this dime into a rarity category that collectors relentlessly pursue. The rarity of the 1934 D Mercury dime does not come from hype, it comes from math and survival. Large numbers were lost to circulation. Many were melted. Others were damaged beyond recognition. Today, the population of authentic, naturally aged examples in collectible condition is extremely limited. And every year that number gets smaller. Coins like this do not re-enter the market often. When they do, they create tension, urgency, and aggressive bidding. This coin is highly demanded not because it looks perfect, but because it tells the truth. It tells the truth about America's struggle, resilience, and endurance. Collectors understand this. That is why competition for this dime is intense and unrelenting. Now, let the suspense end, because this is where the shock becomes real. The absolutely current market value of the 1934 D Mercury dime in very good condition with natural gray spotting is $179,000. This is not a future guess. This is not storytelling. This is the real number being paid in today's active auction market. A single dime, a silent survivor, a piece of silver carrying the weight of a major financial treasure. And let me be clear, the value of this coin is not standing still. Demand is increasing day by day. As more collectors recognize the importance of original surfaces and Depression-era Denver issues, prices continue to climb. Time is working in favor of this coin. Waiting does not weaken its value, it strengthens it. Do not take this as fiction. I am telling you the truth. For collectors, this coin demands respect and patience. Authentication is essential. Natural surfaces must be preserved. Never attempt to clean or alter a coin like this. Its power lies in its untouched state. The more honest the coin, the stronger its future. In conclusion, the 1934 D Mercury dime with grey spotting is not just rare, it is quietly dominant in the collector world. If this coin rests in your possession, you are not holding old silver. You are holding a historic asset, a concentrated form of wealth, and a legacy piece that continues to rise while the world moves on. And remember, true coin value brings you freshly updated hidden wealth revelations every single day. Stay with us, because coin number 4 pushes even further into rarity, and what comes next may redefine what you thought was possible from a single dime. Next up, this is the coin that silences rooms. The coin that doesn't need scars to prove survival because it never surrendered to circulation in the first place. The 1924 Mercury dime, without a mint mark, preserved in uncirculated condition, stands as one of the most astonishing contradictions in the entire Mercury dime series. A coin born to be spent that somehow escaped untouched, flawless, and powerful beyond imagination. To understand the magnitude of this coin, you must first understand the year 1924. America was in transition. Industry was accelerating, cities were growing, and silver coinage was moving rapidly through hands, pockets, and registers. Coins were tools, not collectibles. Saving a dime in perfect condition during this era was not common. It was almost unthinkable. Most were worn smooth within months. That is why an uncirculated survivor from this year feels almost impossible. This coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the absence of a mint mark. And while Philadelphia produced larger quantities overall, condition rarity is where this coin becomes legendary. Millions may have been struck, but virtually none survived without wear. This dime somehow avoided the chaos of circulation. No rubbing, no flattening, no loss of detail. It remains frozen in time, exactly as it left the mint nearly a century ago. Composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, this Mercury dime carries the unmistakable weight of real American money. Designed by Adolph A. Weinman, Liberty's winged cap appears here in its full glory, sharp, bold, and alive with motion. The hairlines are crisp. The facial features are untouched. The wings of the cap remain strong and defined, radiating clarity that only uncirculated coins can possess. Turn the coin over, and the reverse delivers authority. The facets stand tall and complete, the olive branch sharp and undisturbed. There is no softness here, no fading. Every element remains exactly where it was meant to be. This is not just a coin, it is a perfect messenger from the past, carrying the full intention of its design forward into the present. Collectors understand something critical about coins like this. Uncirculated condition is not just better, it is exponentially rarer. For a 1924 Mercury dime, this level of preservation places it in an elite category that few coins ever enter. Demand is fierce. Competition is intense. When an example like this appears in the auction market, it becomes an event. This coin is rare not because of low mintage, but because of survival against all odds. Time, circulation, melting, and neglect destroyed nearly every example. This one endured untouched, and that makes it extraordinary. Collectors chase this coin because it represents perfection, where perfection was never expected to exist. Now, let the suspense break, because this is where reality delivers its impact. The absolutely current market value of the 1924 Mercury dime in uncirculated condition with no mint mark is $195,000. Yes, this is the real price being paid today. This is current. This is verified. This is what serious collectors are committing right now for a single dime preserved in absolute brilliance. A compact treasure, a historic asset, a form of wealth that speaks without making noise. And make no mistake, the value of this coin is not standing still. Demand for pristine, uncirculated Mercury dimes is accelerating day by day. As the supply continues to vanish into long-term collections, prices are being pushed higher with every major auction. Waiting does not weaken this coin. Time strengthens it. This is not exaggeration. This is the truth unfolding in real time. For collectors, this coin sets a standard. Storage matters. Protection matters. Professional grading matters. Coins like this must be preserved with respect, because once perfection is lost, it can never be restored. This is not a coin to experiment with. It is a coin to safeguard. In conclusion, the 1924 Mercury dime, without a mint mark, in uncirculated condition, is not just rare, it is elite-level historic wealth. If this coin is in your possession, you are holding something that transcends ordinary collecting. You are holding preserved history, condensed value, and a treasure that continues to rise as fewer remain. And remember, true coin value brings you freshly updated discoveries of hidden coin wealth every single day. Stay with us, because coin number 5 is coming next, and it stands at the absolute edge of rarity, where legends are made. Next up, this is the coin that ends the list with authority. The kind of coin that doesn't just complete a collection, it defines it. The 1927 Mercury dime with the D mint mark, showing deep, natural brown layers and preserved in very good condition, stands as one of the most quietly powerful survivors in the entire Mercury dime legacy. This coin doesn't shout. It resonates, and collectors who understand it feel that resonance immediately. The year 1927 was a moment of uneasy calm before history shifted again. America was moving forward, but the undercurrents of economic change were already forming. Coins were tools of daily life, not objects of preservation. At the Denver Mint, production numbers were limited compared to Eastern mints, and the coins struck there were often used hard and fast. Most were circulated aggressively, worn down, and erased by time. Survival was rare. Character was unavoidable. Struck in the classic 90% silver and 10% copper composition, this Mercury dime carried intrinsic value from the moment it was born. Designed by Adolph A. Weinman, Liberty's winged cap symbolized freedom of thought, a powerful idea during a time when the nation was unknowingly approaching a historic turning point. But Denver issues from 1927 often suffered from weaker strikes and heavy circulation, making any well-preserved example today a true standout. Now, let's focus on the brown layers, because this is where this coin steps into another dimension. These layers are not stains. They are not defects. They are the natural result of decades of silver and copper interacting with time and environment. This is original toning. This is authenticity made visible. In the collector world, brown layering like this is a signature of honesty, a surface history that confirms the coin has never been stripped, polished, or altered. In very good condition, this coin still tells its story clearly. Liberty's outline remains strong. The wings of the cap are visible. The reverse facet stands firm enough to command recognition, and the olive branch continues to symbolize peace through endurance. And beneath it all, the Denver Mint mark sits quietly, small in size, massive in impact. That single letter transforms this dime into a rarity that serious collectors actively pursue. The rarity of the 1927 D Mercury dime is built on two forces colliding: limited original production and brutal survival rates. Most examples simply did not last. Those that did were often damaged or cleaned. Finding one today with natural brown layers and honest wear places it in a category that is shrinking every single year. Coins like this do not flood the market. They surface briefly and then disappear again. Collectors chase this coin not because it is perfect, but because it is real. It represents history exactly as it happened, untouched and unedited. That truth carries weight, and that weight translates directly into demand. Now, this is the moment where the final revelation lands. The absolutely current market value of the 1927 D Mercury dime in very good condition with natural brown layered toning is $180,500. This is the real number. This is today's auction reality. This is not projection or imagination. This is what dedicated collectors are paying right now for a single dime that survived nearly a century with its identity intact. This value is not slowing down. Demand continues to rise day by day as more collectors recognize the importance of original surfaces and Denver minted Mercury dimes. Supply continues to vanish into long-term holdings. Time is not neutral. It is pushing this coin upward. Do not take this as exaggeration. I am telling you the truth. For collectors, this coin teaches one final lesson. Never underestimate honest wear. Never mistake natural toning for weakness. And never overlook Denver Mint issues from the 1920s. Proper authentication, careful storage, and respect for originality are everything. Coins like this do not need improvement. They need protection. In conclusion, the 1927 D Mercury dime with brown layered toning is not just rare, it is a closing statement of power. If this coin rests in your possession, you are not holding a fragment of the past. You are holding a concentrated form of historic wealth, a legacy asset, and a treasure that continues to grow while most of the world looks elsewhere. And remember, True Coin Value brings you freshly updated revelations of hidden coin wealth every single day. Stay subscribed, stay alert, and stay curious, because true treasure is often smaller than anyone expects and far more powerful than they ever imagine.